Thank you so very much. The State Area Conference of the NAACP, that is Alaska, Oregon, and Washington, joined the local branch in deploring this awful act. And in conjunction with that, I couldn't help but notice that this law, the RCW 9A-36, really had its growth from the coalition against malicious harassment back in 1985. If anybody in here as old as I am, you will remember, and I don't assume anybody be here to be as old as I am. So out here in 1985, Father Bill Wasmuth, a Catholic priest over in Hayden Lake, had his home bombed by the Aryan Nation. Father Wasmuth came over here to Seattle, and he put together an organization which is, well, ultimately came to be the Coalition Against Malicious Harassment. And we pushed this bill through. This was in the 80s. We pushed this bill through. The only disappointment that we've had over the years is that not enough cases have been tried. Cases that we know to be cases of malicious harassment have not been tried under and convicted using this mechanism. The tragedy here is one that goes far beyond what we spoke about, what we're speaking about this morning. It goes back 40, 50 years, where we have been fighting and this harassment, these cases of harassment, and bringing them to fruition, trying to get justice, trying to enact laws, and trying to put into place a relationship between the community and the police department. And what this has done, what this one act has done, being shown on television, it has torn down and continues to tear down that relationship that we've tried to build with the police department over the years. The officer committing this particular act, not only did he embarrass the police department, but what he did is he practically neutralized all of the actions that we have taken in the community, in the African American community, now in the Latino community, in the Asian community, to tear down those acts of racial profiling and harassment that I think has so germinized our society here locally in the city of Seattle. Now, a few months ago, you saw a rash. We had to go through a rash of people shooting police officers. And we thought this, and we still feel that this is such a tragedy. Such a thing, it should and cannot happen, and the only way that we could combat those activities is to build up a relationship in these minority communities to try to prevail upon our youngsters. The youngsters that we see that are victims of these racial harassment and racial profiling acts, try to teach them that the police officers are there to protect them. This officer is sworn to uphold the law. He is being paid to protect us in our community. These are issues that we try to teach our youngsters, and we have, I think, successfully, in some cases, and unsuccessfully in other cases, to get across in our community and to try to get our law enforcement people to understand. So here again, this officer did not only embarrass the police department and himself and his family. What he did is he tore down about 40 or 50 years of community building with the police department. What the interim chief said, it was too weak. It was a weak statement, and we had hoped that he'd get a stronger statement out of the acting police chief, rather than just some tacit remark about what should or should not have been done. And so what we're doing today is we're calling upon not only the acting chief of police to take a stronger act, and the Justice Department, I believe today, correct me if I'm wrong, the Justice Department has taken upon itself to take this issue a step further and send it back to our Chief of Justice Department in the Chief of Assistant Chief for Civil Rights in the Justice Department. And so we hope this issue will go forward, and we want to see something done to this officer. so that we can all understand, and so that our youngsters can understand, so the community can understand that we are being protected by these people, and we shouldn't be intimidated by them. Any law enforcement officer that is caught committing such an act should be dismissed on the spot. Because if you carry around in your soul some hatred for a certain class of people, how can you protect people that you have some inherent dislike for, or prejudice against? It's impossible. And so we call upon the police chief to step out and take a strong step, and we're going to follow this thing all the way through to the end. We're not just going to meet here and have a press conference and go back, you know, to our local organizations and sit and watch things being not done. We're going to follow this to the very end of this, to the road, and see where this goes, and we're going to make people responsible for who should be responsible for these kinds of acts in our community. Thank you.